Hello everyone and welcome to our Monday night cook along. I'm Julie Carlisle and we are cooking a hearty minestrone soup with Herb Gremolata today. That was my husband there. And hello to everybody on YouTube as well. Hello, is that Wendy and Jake? Do I have that right? And Lynette? I'm sorry we're a little bit late. We were just fiddling around with the bread and everything. And then all of a sudden we realized, oh dear, it's 6:01. Okay. So today's dish, we are going to be using, some of the accessories that go along with the Thermomix. Brett's just going to fiddle with the camera by the looks. Hi Shannon, how are you? Hi Elaine, how are you? Raylene, lovely to see you. Hi Kerry. Hi Amy, fabulous. Hi Ross, wonderful to see you. That's Wendy, yes. Hi Diane, lovely to see you, and Lynette. Okay, Nolene, fabulous to see you. With the minestrone soup, I thought we would use the cutter to chop our vegetables. So I haven't done the prep for the vegetables.
That's good. Ray said, just watching tonight, see how the gadgets
work. Yeah, awesome. That's it. Might as well. So I haven't done the prep for the vegetables. Hi Sue. Sue must have rushed from work today. She has trouble sometimes getting here on time. Lovely to see you. I was a bit late today. We're doing the prep with the vegetables with the cutter, and I have put a loaf of bread out to proof, only I was a little bit late doing that, so it's not doing its thing, but I will still show you the sensor. We might have a flat loaf of bread, but we'll still be able to see what the sensor does anyway. But let's get started with the minestrone soup. Sue had a WFH day today. I don't know what that is. I thought it was going to be a what the fuck day today. But anyway, I don't know. I don't know what a WFH is. Anyway, obviously not what I said. Hi Scott, how are you? Can we beep that out? It's a bit late now, isn't it? Oh dear. Okay, so before we get on with any of the start of the recipe, I am going to get out our cutter. Oh, Raylene says she has one of those days every day. Yeah, I've had one of those days today. Okay, so cutter comes with a few bits and pieces. We have this shaft here. Now this one works like the butterfly. So we just pop that on where the blades aren't. So exactly how you put it on for your butterfly. And put that there. We've got our basket. And we drop that in just like that. And here, hi Vicky. And here is our grater and slicer. So, she said sometimes it feels like that when she's reading witness statements. Work from home day. Okay, that makes more sense. Right. Yeah, oh well. Okay, so here is our grater and slicer. So there's only one piece that does both, and it'll grate or slice depending on which way we have it. So the easiest way to remember it is slate is for slice. Okay, Nolene likes my version better. Hi Vicky. Vicky's saying hello to everyone. So slate is for slice and grey is for grate. So we're going to be doing some slicing. So we're going to hold it up the grating way, the slicing way, the slate way. So we're popping this on here. And then we've got our top. So we're putting this little bit here in here, and it just sits on there. Now, it doesn't matter whether the chute is at the back or at the front. makes no difference. And then we tap on the home button and we get our 3 circles up. We slide across to our functions and then we go down and we can see our grating and our slicing function. Now, just a little, a little tip. If you happen to tap grating when the slicing blade is up, it will still slice, and vice versa, because it depends on actually what is up. It has nothing to do with the function here. This is only just to help you know what to tap to actually get it going. So it's more important what the blade is doing, not what this is. So let's get and prep our veggies. So I've actually got them in water because I didn't want my fennel to go brown. Oh, what's Betty said? I've missed some comments.
Sorry, I'm way back.
Okay.
Betty said hi all.
Hi all, lovely. Super. Okay, well I'm going to do some slicing. So we've got our celery. The recipe just wants 1 stick of celery. So that's nice and easy. Tap on the slicing and I'm going to go thick. So down to thick. That's done. Carrot. Okay, so celery and carrots done. I'm actually going to drain this because it's a bit of a mess. That'll make it easier to get it out of here. Okay, and this is fennel. And if anyone has tried to slice fennel, it is a real pain. So I'm really glad to have the slicer for this.
Betty.
Yeah.
She just got her cutter.
Oh, awesome.
Tried it yet.
Oh, fabulous. Well, this is good timing then.
Yeah, great stuff.
Yep, so I'm going to put the little bits in first. I might actually have to trim some of the bigger bits. And we'll go thick again.
Nolan, that's a whole lot faster.
I think I'm going to have to chop this one, so I'll just grab.
Paul, so doesn't the celery get chopped as well?
Yep, celery went in first.
Oh, went in, okay.
Yep, that one was very quick. So it went in first. Okay, job done. So let's take a look.
Oh, Vicky's already got hers cooking.
Oh, Vicky,
Yeah,
wow.
well ahead.
You are ahead of us.
And she used her mandolin to chop today.
Wow, how is the fennel? Because I find fennel really difficult with a mandolin. I gave up on it the last time.
Oh, sorry, I made a mistake. Paul said step rooted chopped in bowls. So we're just going to cut it.
Sorry, what did Paul say?
Paul said step 3 says chop in bowl. Chop it in the bowl.
Oh, for the celery?
Yeah, so we're just doing the demo.
Okay, well, it's not a cook along unless I make a mistake. So,
Lynn Moy,
yep.
how do you stop getting a build-up under the dome of the lid?
There's no way to do that. There wasn't actually very much of a build-up there. If you've ever used a food processor, you'll find that every food processor does that. And you'll find that the softer the vegetable or the cheese or whatever it is, the more build-up you'll get underneath it. the harder it is, the less build up. So I didn't really have very much build up then. Okay, and that's all my sliced veggies ready for our soup.
Oh, nice job.
Yeah, pretty quick too. And because this is all just veggies, all I'm going to do is rinse this and put it back on the shelf. So I'm not going to be doing any great washing up. Okay. And then when you look in here, it's all nice and clean and ready to go. We just have to remember to take that shaft out because we don't want to destroy the shaft. And that is probably the number one problem that happens. People forget about it. Okay, now we're on to the actual recipe. What has Sue said? I'm missing that.
Work from home and remember you're a rebel like me and never follow a recipe.
Oh, I know. Yep. It's the reason why I kept telling my team leader I can't be a Thermomix consultant because I bucked the system. But anyway, she decided she'd put up with me anyway. Just. Okay, so we have now, there we go. Place 1 garlic clove. Why only 1? Okay, they want the other garlic clove later. Okay, I'll go with that. 1 garlic clove in there, and now we have our herbs. And it wanted 50 grams of mixed herbs. So I've got parsley here and chives. It was the only herbs that looked any good in Woolworths, so I didn't really have a lot of choice. But that's my 50 grams. Parmesan and lemon peel. So we have 50 grams of parmesan chopped up. So popping that in. Might go back over to there. And lemon juice and peel. So I've taken the peel off a lemon, and that's just there, making sure that there's no pith because the pith gets really bitter and it's not nice. And it wants, so where are we? Lemon peel into the mixing bowl, then chop for 10 seconds, speed 9. So here we go, lid on, 10 seconds, speed 9.
There was a question, Dale, from Chelsea.
Michelle?
Chelsea, hi, I'm watching. I'm new to Thermomix. Can I do this recipe without a cutter?
Yes. Yep, absolutely easy. All you have to do is just chop the carrots ahead of time, chop the
Fennel as well.
fennel, what else do we put through it? And the...
celery was step 3.
Yeah, celery we actually didn't even need to put in that, but I did. So just the carrot and the fennel. Okay, so we have our start of our gremolata just there. Now it says we can scrape down the mixing bowl and add some chili flakes, which are optional. Now I'm not going to add the chili flakes, only because I really like a nice, fresh, zingy gremolata, so I'm leaving those out. And now we add 40 grams of lemon juice and 60 grams of olive oil. So I'm starting across to our scales, and I reserved the lemon juice. Okay, I've got 45 grams there. Now, I'm really not big on adding a lot of oil into gremolatas and in soups because I just find that it doesn't really need it. We are also adding bacon to a minestrone soup, and I don't know about you, but for me, a minestrone soup is usually a vegetarian soup. So when you're adding meat and bacon, I feel like you're getting extra oil and saturated fat anyway. So I will put a little bit of oil in, but I really don't want to put 80 grams of,
Isn't how much it was?
80 grams of oil. So that's like, wow, no. So I might just go half of that, and even that I think is pretty generous.
That's a lot.
Yeah, so I'm going to tear out of that. But you can do what you want. You know, people have different tastes.
Vicky was saying she'd love to buy the cutter. Oh, sorry. I'd love to buy the cutter, but and a sensor for her son's wife. They live in a rental, and the oven's just an absolute guessing game.
Yep, and that's what I'm waiting to find out about mine, to be honest. Yep. I'm not really that concerned about how my bread's going to turn out. I'm actually more interested in finding out what my oven's doing.
Yeah, well, we noticed the difference even with the lava cakes.
Yep, because my lava cakes in my last oven, perfect to the dot every single time. And now, a minute or two either side.
Yeah. A little bit more. Wow, that's a lot. I'm with you regarding the oil.
Yeah.
And Vicky, she added a bit of salt as well.
Ah, good idea. Now, I do actually have a bit of salt on the side here because I thought the same thing. Super. Okay, so we have that, and we are going to mix for 5 seconds, speed 8, and then transfer to a bowl. I might actually just scrape that down so that we manage to get it all combined. It is smelling rather nice.
Donna Blackwell said hi, sorry I'm late.
That's okay, we were a little bit late too, Donna. Okay, now what was it? It was 5 seconds, speed 8. 5 seconds. Yep, 5 seconds. Speed 8. That might fit in there. Nope. Oh.
What's it doing?
I didn't think it had released, but it had. Okay, scrape around the edge. This is going to add a really lovely freshness to the soup.
And Vicky, aren't we great in remodeling the recipe?
Oh, yeah.
So 3 things, the soup, the oil,
I know.
the salt, I'm sure there's others.
Yep. Yes, we can't follow recipes even for the first time. We all know what we like.
Yeah, Erin just making it better. Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if it's going to fit.
Yeah, Yvonne says she always puts less oil in the recipes as well, and less sugar. She's
Yes.
trying to keep them healthy. Oh,
That's-
yeah, spill all down the front this side.
Oh dear. Yeah, I think so too. I think you don't miss it. And I think sometimes when you're adding something to the top of a recipe, it goes through the soup and it just creates that really oily mouthfeel that is, it goes against the freshness of the vegetables in the gremolata. Okay, so that's our gremolata ready for later. It's looking rather nice.
A question from Sue.
Yep.
Hey Jules, I usually chuck in the freezer the end bits of certain veggies to make a vegetable stock.
Yep.
Do you think the kale stems would be too fibrous to use?
I actually like kale stems, so I tend to, you'll see and say, oh, shit, was I supposed to put those through the cutter as well?
Well, Donna said she's late, Donna Blackwell.
Yep.
So there's a chance for Donna to see the cutter.
Okay. Yes. So we might need to do that. Well, we've only made the gremolata, so we're not too far ahead.
Yeah, Cass said, I think you might need a bigger bowl. Yes, we did. We made a bit of a mess.
That's okay. Okay. So the gremolata's made, and now we're prepping for our soup again. I had these here ready. So you'll see it did say to take off the stems, but I actually really like the stems. I think they give it an extra crunch. And so I always leave the stems. So we are going to pop this together. Here's my basket. There it is. Basket on top. And okay, slate for slice. Super. Okay, now we're sliding across to our functions, going up to slicing. And now we just feed these. Do as thick.
Donna Blackwell.
Yep.
What if you don't like kale? Is there anything else you could use instead of the kale?
Spinach.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Definitely spinach. You just want some green in it, really, and green that's going to wilt down.
Mm.
Okay, pop that back over.
And Sue Ambra,
Yep.
she said, okay, cool. The bunch I have is a young bunch, so she'll do the same.
Yep. Okay. Now I better take a bit more care with my recipe, shouldn't I? Okay, so now we're getting on to the soup. So we're adding remaining 20 grams of oil and garlic clove. So that spare garlic clove is here. Taking out that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes.
She's got all hers in the garden. She said, yeah, grab mine from the garden, and her cauliflowers are awesome.
Oh,
That's
fabulous.
so good.
Yeah, I love it when we've got that.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Okay, it was 20 grams of oil, but I really don't think you need any more than 10. So, but it's up to you. Follow the instructions. You don't need to follow me. And we are adding bacon, onion, celery, and the carrots into the mixing bowl. So bacon. So that's another reason why I don't think we need all of that oil that they said, because we're adding bacon. And, you know, bacon's got enough oil in it to not need the extra. So we have our bacon and celery, which might cause a little bit of a problem because the celery is right down the bottom. Onion is here. And carrot. Right. Okay, well, given that there's only 3 minutes between adding the carrot and the rest of the ingredients, I really don't see that it's a big deal. So I'm just going to add the rest of the ingredients, the vegetables, because 3 minutes, 3 minutes is really neither here nor there. But if you haven't put all your gear together, you could probably do it the way they asked.
Is the kale going now as well, or just the bottom stuff?
It's really just the bottom stuff, but I'm not really that worried if some of it goes in. And by some of it, it seems that it's all going in. Oh dear.
It's full bowl.
It is, isn't it?
I know.
But it's not liquid that's up to that max fill.
I know that.
So that's really important. So if you're concerned about the max fill line, you don't need to be overly concerned because there's no liquid in there as yet. Okay, so we've got all those things in. We've got the carrots, we've got all the veggies, and we are going to now cook for, 5 seconds. You have 5 seconds, speed 5. Okay, we're mixing it, obviously, 5 seconds, speed 5. And then we're going to scrape down and then saute. Very slow with this one, aren't I? So it's kind of written in a way that I'm finding it a little bit difficult. Okay, 5 seconds. Speed 5. Okay, now we're cooking 3 minutes, 120 degrees, speed 1. Super. Okay, that's going now.
What's the next step after that one?
So,
What's the next step after that one?
The next step is to add the stuff that I've already added.
All right, and then put the
And then cook. Yeah, cook for 25 minutes. So that's when we'll deal with our bread and our sensor.
chop.
Yeah, so I am going to move this stuff away.
Nolan's just put hers on reverse with the 25 minute cook.
And Nolene, I bet you've done a much better job than I have. And I'm curious to see if it makes a difference in the end. And somehow I think it might. I have to say that this is literally the worst recipe I have ever attempted. I'm just reading it and it's jumbled as far as I'm concerned. Like you read and it's like, okay, I can do that. And then you read the next line and it's like, that's not what they meant at all because the carrot's still not in there and it's in mine. But maybe that's just me. I'm sure it's going to taste amazing because it really doesn't matter when it's soup. As long as the veggies go in and the veggies get nice and soft, I think it's a win. Right, with which? Couldn't hear him,
Are you going to be fine doing that for the sensor?
Yes, I checked the sensor before, so I'm just going to actually have a little talk about it. And we'll have a bit of it explained.
Vicky says
Yeah.
it doesn't tell you in the ingredients that you need 40 ml of lemon juice.
I know. In the ingredients, it just says lemon and juice. And then when you come over into the instructions, it says use 40 grams of lemon juice.
Yeah.
I know. It's really not well written, to be honest.
Right, we'll stick with that from now on.
Yep. Okay, so that's done. What it's done, I'm not really sure. Okay, now we're adding the tomato paste and, well, we've already added the carrots and we've added the fennel. We're going to add ground fennel seeds and stock paste, and we're not using chili flakes. So we have our fennel seeds in.
Janine, you need a kitchen assistant to clean up for you.
It's okay. It doesn't take much, to be honest, because you get time in between each stages, so it's fine. Okay, so we've added the stock. Now we had to add the tomato paste. So I'm just going to go across here and measure. Great. And we need 1 litre of water from memory. 1 litre of water. Okie doke. This is going to be interesting because I have a full bowl. I do.
The sensor is awesome. She's got one. Oh,
Yep.
yeah, Vicky did the bread.
Yeah, I know. She did the bread. It was amazing.
That's awesome. Yeah. She said they've got to buy another one.
Hey?
She has to buy another one for the daughter-in-law.
Yeah, she mentioned she was going to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to play with mine the other day as well. I would have really liked to have started my bread earlier, but I was so busy today. Okay, so we're adding a litre of water. Thirty more grams to go. And that is literally right up to the max fill mark. Okay, so there's nothing else to go in there, I'm hoping.
Yeah, right. It will still have all the flavours, Julie. You've just made it easier to add everything by adding it all together.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we place the varoma into position and weigh the beans into it. Okay, so apparently I've made another mistake. Honestly, people don't cook soups the way I cook soups. But I'll tell you what I've done wrong. I'm owning up. Apparently, when you saw me process that kale, the kale was supposed to be left separately, and the kale was supposed to go in here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right.
And then the beans were also supposed to go in here, so we're supposed to have beans and kale on top.
Oh, I guess I'll stop the beans from getting mushed in there.
Yeah, I understand why the beans go in there, but the kale, I actually like the kale to be a bit softer, so I'm happy with what I did with that.
Yeah.
And now we place the varoma into position and secure the lid, and we're cooking for 25 minutes on varoma speed 1, which is going to give me a chance to show you the varoma. Okay, so 25 minutes.
Vicky.
What?
She makes me laugh. She said, who cares? It tastes good.
Yeah.
Soup.
It's soup, I know.
Soup.
What can you do wrong with soup, yeah? I've done everything wrong with soup and I bet it tastes exactly the same. Okay, so that's up there. Popping that where it goes. Right. So that's doing its thing, and I bet there is absolutely no taste difference. I'm even going to say that I bet the kale tastes nicer being that bit softer and being, you know, gathering up all the flavours of the soup. So, yes, I can't follow a recipe, but I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. Okay. What?
Right. Julie, you need to WFH more often.
Yes, I do agree. Okay, so let's go and have a look. Look. So let's go and have a look over here. I'm moving this one out of the way because it's got 25 minutes to go.
You like that?
It's very heavy.
Yeah, good job.
Okay, can we see?
Oh,
Yes.
good job. That's perfect.
Great.
Yeah, right.
So turning that on.
Just angle it a bit more that way, though.
Which way?
Angle it that way. Facing towards
Me?
that way. Yeah, that's perfect. That's really good.
Okay, so we're turning this on. I'm grabbing my sensor.
Yeah, that's awesome. Perfect.
So what Sue said?
Ray said you need it to WFH more often, and then Sue said, yeah, and it's 4 less steps to follow. So it's just a better recipe.
Yeah, it really is, isn't it? As long as it tastes good, which I'm pretty sure it will. Yeah.
Sue says, when I ask my staff if they'll be WFH, you won't be able to keep a straight face now.
Yeah. Okay, so here's our sensor, and it can be used for heaps of things. So it can be used for cakes, bread, meat, fish, anything that you like. It can be used in the oven, in a barbecue.
In the smoker.
Yes, smoker, whatever you like. And it's really easy to connect. So basically we go over to our settings, and we go to settings here, and we check that our Bluetooth is on. And when it's on, we go to connect devices. And then we take a look here, and it says Thermomix Sensor and how to add a sensor. This one's actually already connected, so I'm just going to open that up. And when I open it up, you get a little thing saying connected. To see more details, that's there. So if I pull that out, then now I can go and come over here and slide over to where it says sensor. And I'm tapping on that. And if I want to check on my bread, or if I want to put a roast pork in the oven, and I have no idea how long it's going to take a big 3 kilo roast pork to be done in the middle, rather than just guessing, I can tap here and choose pork, and it'll say steak, roast or other. And if it's a roast, I'm going to tap roast.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
That's really nifty.
Yeah. You get the option of butt, shoulder, leg, ham, loin, gammon, belly or other. So you choose what best suits what you have. And so I'm going to go shoulder. And then you asked how you like it done, whether it's medium, medium well, well done, or fall apart tenderness. So you get those options and you choose what you want. And then it gives you the temperature that you're aiming to get to. And, you tap send, and then it tells you to insert the probe. And when we're inserting the probe, what we're trying to do is get the probe into the middle. We have a little line here, and the line needs to go just inside the meat, but we don't want this to touch the bottom or go close to the bottom of the pan. So if we have to angle it this way instead of that way, then that's what we do. Now, this section here is going to tell you what the temperature is inside the pork. And this section here is going to tell you what your oven's at. So this is really nifty, especially if you've got a dodgy oven, because if you've got your oven and you've set it at 200 and you know that your oven should cook pork in 2 hours at 200 degrees, and you keep pulling it out at that time and it's under all the time or it's dry all the time, when you get this information, you'll finally know what's going wrong. Now, I'm going to put this in with, honey, it says there's an audio disruption. Can you actually finish that as well? Yep. So I'm going to use this for a bread. Now, like I said, my bread I didn't get on anywhere near well enough, so I'm going to have a really flat, terrible loaf, but you will see what the sensor does. So I am going to go back and just going to pop this in here for the moment while I get my
couple of questions done.
Yeah.
Okay, Cass,
Mhm.
she asked, can the sensor be used in a slow cooker? I couldn't see why not, as long as it's upright out of the fluid. Because you can have the temperatures upwards of 280 degrees, I think it was.
Yeah. I can't imagine why you couldn't. Because you can have it in a barbecue.
Yeah.
No connection. Okay, hang on. Place the charger between the Thermomix and... Okay, just wait. I'm talking.
So yeah, I think Cass, yes, it can be used in a
Yeah.
slow cooker.
Yeah, I would say so, because you can use it in the oven, you can use it in your barbecue. I would say absolutely yes.
And Vicky asked, will it work on a barbecue rotisserie?
Yes.
My only concern with the barbecue rotisserie, because I use ours, is if it's direct flame, it might get above the 280 degrees. As long as the barbecue's got the panels above the flame, so it's not a direct flame, I think it should be fine. As long as it doesn't get above 280 degrees, I think it's fine. Because I use ours on our smoker all the time. And I can never control my temperatures. So that's where the ambient temperature is just amazing.
Yeah. And the internal temperature is the one that you're going off to get the meat off.
Yeah, my internals, what I used to look at after my 10, 12-hour cook. Jake and Carol asked, is it the same as the meter?
Well, it's very similar to the meter. The only difference to the meter is the meter is a standalone product. So...
Oh, sorry.
So the meter is a standalone product which you monitor on your app, whereas the sensor integrates with your Thermomix. So recipes now that go into the oven actually utilize the sensor as part of its cooking. So if you're cooking a cake, the sensor is starting to be used to tell you when to get the cake out now, instead of saying cook for 20 minutes or until golden. So you won't be starting to get those instructions anymore. You'll be saying put your sensor in, and when your sensor reaches such and such degrees, pull out your cake. So that it's now allowing for everybody's differences in their oven temperatures. Okay, I'm going to get my...
Can I still this for a second? Instructions.
Yep.
That's what I thought it was
on. Okay, I'm just going to grab my very flat bread because it's only been on...
It actually looks good up.
Bring it over.
That looks great.
Okay. So I would never put this bread in an oven the way it is, because when you put a bread in an oven, because the yeast is alive, it won't raise any further, because the yeast only lives to about 30 degrees, and after 30 degrees you kill the yeast. So it's not going to generate any more carbon dioxide, which is going to lift the bread any higher. So I guess what I'm saying is this is going to be a lousy loaf of bread, but it's going to be a good way to explain how the sensor works and to show you what you get to see. So I'm going to open my sensor and pull it out. I might have to go back because I've already been fiddling with it. So sensor, remove probe from the charger. I have done that. And now it's searching. Okay, now I come over here and I hit degrees because I don't know what degrees I need to set it at. I'm touching bread because bread's what we've made. We get the option of basic bread or enriched dough. Because enriched dough, we're using things like egg and butter, which changes the temperature that you're going to need to be cooking it at. So basic dough, tapped, The best result is achieved at 96 degrees, it says. So I'm going to say, yep, 96 degrees. I'm going to agree with that. And we want to put the sensor in. And now we need to get this line in to the bread. And we want to make sure that it's at an angle that is not going to touch the bottom or go near the bottom. So that's what it's looking like there. Now, if you were doing with this with a cake and the cake batter was wobbly, you would use this device to pop that on there and use the sensor in this hole to hold it up. But we don't need to do that with this because it goes in nicely. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is pop this in the oven. Now I've turned that on to 200 because 200 is where I always cook my bread. And I've only just turned it on now. Now the reason I've only turned it on now is my oven turns on and heats up very, very quickly. So I figure that if I put it in now, I'm going to get a little bit more time where I might get a little bit more rise. And also it means that we will get to see what's actually going on in my oven. So I've got it on 200 and at the moment it's estimating that it's going to be a 50-minute cook, which it's not going to be. It's only saying that because my temperature in my oven is very cold. It says my temperature at the moment in the oven is 28 degrees.
Oh, you just turned it on?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah.
It's 50 degrees. Oh, no. Sorry.
It's 28 degrees,
yeah, I see.
and it wants to get the internal temperature at 96 degrees. So as the oven heats up, it'll give me two temperatures. It'll give me the temperature of my oven and the internal temperature of the bread. So once my oven gets to temperature, I am going to absolutely know if when my mark at 200 that I turned it to has reached 200, if it's not 200 here, then my oven is out. And so then next time I'm cooking, I know to make that allowance. Even if I'm not using my sensor, even if I'm making biscuits, I'll know to make an allowance when I'm cooking. So that's just going and doing its thing.
Because I use the ambient temperature literally only when I'm using the smoker. I don't pay attention much to the...
Yeah, and Brett, when Brett's using the smoker, he uses the ambient temperature of the outside of the smoker just to tell where he's up to and how...
It's only trying to keep the temps around 150.
Yeah, and how the temperature is going and if it's keeping the temperature that's required. Okay. So it's still on 28, yeah. So it's just calculating at the moment. It's going to take a little while to get the information that it needs. And the other important thing, I've got to take this over to the oven because this is a relay. So this actually extends the information that it can pass on to the machine. So I need this to be over here, because the probe talks to that machine and then accelerates the information over to this one. So it's pretty nifty. So we'll leave that go. And what have we got happening here?
Does it also... I'm going to ask a question now.
Yeah, go ahead.
Does it connect with the Cookadoo app?
Yes.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. So you'll find that there's a lot of cookadoo recipes now that actually use the sensor as part of the cooking process.
But will I have those specifics on the front of the machine on the app somehow?
Yes.
I can? I can
Yes.
get...
So if you go to, I think it's Quick Loaf, you'll see that it's seamlessly in that actual recipe. Yeah, you don't even have to go to the functions. It will just talk you through it. And I've noticed over here, it's taking into consideration the sensor over here, and it's saying that, again, it's 50 minutes, 28 degrees, trying to get to 96 degrees.
That's really good. Okay, got a question. Carol.
Yeah.
Carol from NZ. While you're using the sensor, can you continue to use the Thermomix?
Let's try. I don't know.
No.
Okay. So if I go out and if I want to weigh something, I might just want to weigh my lemon juice. Okay, that's 0. And then if I go back into my sensor, yeah, it's still there. So it's still remembering what's going on. Let's try and look up a recipe.
Just put manual mode on for a second, though.
Pardon?
Just throw manual mode on for a second. Just throw the blades around for 5 seconds on speed 1.
Well, I'm just going to look up Biscoff cheesecake. Yeah. So Biscoff cheesecake. And start cooking. Yeah. Next. 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 Looks good. Go back to home. And slide across. Go to sensor. Yeah. Do wonder when it's going to change temperature though.
Yeah, alright. Okay, 2 questions.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's really good. Vicky answered one of my questions. She said you can still watch on your phone, which is good.
Oh yeah, there
That's
is an
awesome.
app on your phone as
So
well.
it's not the Cookadoo one.
Yeah, it's
By the Cookadoo app.
yeah. Mine's up there. Yes, you can download the app, which you can follow it around as
Oh,
well.
that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's great, Vicky. That's what I was wondering. Erin, does that mean the Thermomix will stay on and it won't turn off
Yes.
until the bread's done?
Absolutely. That 15-minute where it usually turns off, it won't happen. It knows it's busy. It knows it's doing something.
Yeah, well, that's good. Right. Yeah, that's really good.
It is, but I'm still wanting to see what's going on. Yeah, I think I've just got to be patient. Has anyone noticed that's not one of my strong points? Oh, that just went up.
Oh, good, did it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Hmm?
Oh, good. So,
Okay, how much longer for this soup?
How long?
2 minutes.
Oh, you have a new recipe.
Sorry? Oh, next week's recipe. We haven't mentioned it. Next week, we are making a recipe from my website. It's a new one that I have been working really hard to try and get up, but I have had a manic day today. It has been absolutely crazy. And the recipe I really love. And honestly, it doesn't sound fabulous, but it is so much better than the sum of its parts. So it is a recipe that you will probably have the majority of things already in your pantry. If you don't have those things, they're worth keeping in your pantry for days when you can't be bothered cooking because it's so quick and easy. And it's cheap. It's a budget recipe that has so much zing and flavour that it's just worth doing. So the recipe, it's a lemon tuna linguine, and it's got a little bit of a chili zing to it. And it's absolutely fabulous. We have been making this, and I actually went back to have a look at the first photos I ever took of this. We've been making it since before 2013. 2013 was the first time I actually put it on a website, and you had been making it since before then.
When you reached you was here.
You actually made it for the first time when Lachlan was born, because I was working in the shop.
That's when you reached you was here.
Yeah, I was working in the shop, and you actually pulled that one out as a recipe. So this is a 19-year-old recipe that everybody always loves.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, Raylene says she's looking forward to it.
Yeah, it is worth it. It is quick. It is lovely.
So good. And it's even better the next day.
Yep.
The garlic, the chili.
Oh, yeah,
And
it's
don't
just...
put 6 cloves in, put 12.
No.
Yes.
No. Start off with the recipe I give you and then decide what you're going to do. Don't listen to my husband. But it's fabulous. We have the link, and Brett's got the event up. Now, there is a few more things I've got to add to that story, but I just wanted to get it up really quickly so you could take a look at the pictures, so you could have a look at the ingredients that you need. But that is going to be our next recipe for next week. And if you do like, you can also not use linguine. You could use spiral pastas and have it as a pasta dish that you take for work, if that suits you as well.
The next day.
Yeah. Yeah, so that is our plan for next week. Okay, let's take a look at this soup. And I am hoping that it is all okay.
Erin asked, well, that's a tricky one. I think you do. Erin asked, do you need to use tuna?
For the tuna linguine.
Would you be able to get away with the canned salmon?
I think so, as long as you can find a salmon in oil and a salmon in brine.
Yeah.
The salmon in brine gives you a really nice salty, tasty, but you need the salmon in oil to give that really nice mouthfeel. But
to cook the chili and the garlic as well.
and to cook the chili and the garlic in oil without actually having to add extra oil, which you don't want. You want flavoursome oil. Yeah. So yeah, I would say yes. Okay. Smells nice. It's a start. Don't think this is going to be big enough.
Oh, that's really nice. And
Yeah.
And said, thank you so much. I've learned so much tonight. I'm looking forward to next week.
Oh, good. Next week is a super easy one. You are going to be so happy at what you can get done just out of your pantry. When you're in a hurry.
Vicky said, what about fresh salmon?
No, Vicky, I know, I love fresh salmon, but believe it or not, this is probably the one and only dish that canned salmon has got it all over fresh salmon.
Mm.
Okay, I'm just taking a bit of that out so that we've got some sauce left with that one. And then we'll put half the beans in. Do you know, this is going to be my lunch for the next couple of days, I think. Been looking for something really healthy and satisfying.
Referring to Vicky,
Yep.
Sue said, I've spotted another rebel.
Yep.
I think so.
Okay, so I put this in a glass jar because I wanted people to be able to see what it looks like a bit easier. And I am going to try and spoon some gremolata on top without making the biggest mess.
We'll just drag it back a bit towards you guys, just in, not quite in camera view.
Yeah, I will in a sector.
Sure.
Okay. So how does that look, everybody? So I've got the gremolata here and the soup.
Ooh, it looks really good.
Yeah, I'm going to have a little taste. I need to know if I stuffed it up or not. Yeah. What do you think?
I think it's great.
I think it looks good. Yeah.
Yeah, Linguine said it looks great. Nolene looks great. Ray said it looks really good.
Yeah, it is really good. And I do stand behind putting the kale in the bowl to cook.
Yeah.
Because it is nice and soft. I wouldn't want it any harder than that.
No, you wouldn't, would you? Not kale.
And a bit of the gremolata. Okay, when you have the gremolata, it is next level.
That's good.
Yeah, that is great. Okay, I would have been happy with the soup, just the soup, but the gremolata is next level. Okay, so the sensor is going up, 34.
Slowly.
And it's 96 it needs to get to. So it has a bit of time to go. Vicky says, lonely. What did she say?
Oh, she said your soup, it looks lonely, needs to be eaten.
Mm-hmm.
She said it's so nice. Oh, yeah, that's right. Vicky's cooked hers already.
Yes, she has, hasn't
Yvonne, I have the sensor, but tonight I learned a lot of new things she didn't know about it, like the different stages for meat.
Yeah.
She'll have a look at her machine after this.
Yep.
Also, I didn't know that you could still use the machine while using the sensor. Thank you very much, Julie.
Oh, my pleasure.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, if you have any
We'll
questions.
do a YouTube video.
Yeah, we do need to do a YouTube video and one that we're just concentrating on the sensor so that, and connecting the sensor and doing the Bluetooth so that everybody can be more confident in actually setting it up and then using it.
Yeah, Nolene. Nolene added that's right. Nolene added the spinach and the beans to the bowl. Maybe beans a little soft, but easy for the ones who has to wash up. So that's great.
Yep.
And Ray, really enjoyed the gadgets. So
Yeah.
that's really good. Thanks, Ray.
Yep, awesome.
Vicky, you're the best.
Oh, thank you. Oh, you are all the best. I love it. Okay, so there we go. Dinner's cooked. And it's a nice, healthy one today, so that's great.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
It's a toast.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to it as it is. Oh, I forgot. I have just a sneaky little thing that I can tell people.
Oh, all right, yeah, no, this.
Yeah, you don't know this.
No.
So just before everybody goes, I kind of hinted at it a few weeks ago, and then I pulled myself up because I thought, oh shit, I'm not supposed to say. And then I noticed that there was a little announcement on Unleashed. And when anything goes on Unleashed, it means we can say it. And even though it was a little tiny, tiny announcement, it's fair game now. So I found out, and I can share, that next year, I don't know when, but we are getting a spiralizer for the Thermomix. So I'm sure everybody knows how much I love doing zucchini noodles and carrot noodles and all those sort of things because, I mean, that's my spaghetti. And I've got a machine and it's an Aldi one and it breaks and I always have to get those plungers again, which means swapping out my machine and everything. But next year, the Thermomix is going to have a little spiralizer that I can use. So I am absolutely super excited that that's coming out as well. Yeah.
That'll be good for the linguine next week as well.
Yeah, and even for the tuna linguine, I would much rather have tuna linguine with zoodles. So, yeah, I might even make some zoodles for myself. Yeah. So, super excited. We might just keep that as a little quiet thing between us. But yay.
Sue, she loves zucchini noodles as well.
Awesome.
Yeah, it won't be healthy after the sourdough with loads of butter. Vicky. That's really helpful.
Awesome. Okay, well, I'm going to say goodbye to everybody and have some dinner. And I am looking forward to seeing you all next week. Bye for now.